Step, something in my jeans. FOI, you know that's the team, huh?
Peace. This is your brother Aidan X, and welcome to the processing class. Peace. This is brother Aidan X, and I got a very, very special guest, Sister Aaliyah Hakim. I just want to say salam alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, ma'am. So I just want to ask, were you born in the nation, or did you get the teachings like a different way?
I was born and raised in the Nation of Islam.
Yes, ma'am. And how was that process like growing up? Because people, think of it and it may feel like that's a lot of pressure, because you get the teachings at a young age. So how was that growing up with the teachings? And did you ever go astray, even though you was born with it?
Yeah, I didn't feel pressure. We're taught there's no compulsion in Islam. And my mom definitely stuck with that. She didn't force anything on us. She wasn't a very strict parent. I did grow up in a single parent household. My father is Muslim. I had a relationship with him. I knew him. He just didn't live in the household with us. So she had to hold down the teachings and give us that foundation. And no, it was no pressure. I went to Muhammad University of Islam. So it wasn't like I was in conflict with the outside world, not knowing what was right. I wasn't trying to fit in the school. I was very comfortable because, I was born in the nation. I'm around a whole bunch of Muslim children and I enjoyed it. I did see my peers wanting to, explore and be in sports and do other things and wear certain clothing that we don't wear as Muslims, but I was never that one. I liked it. I just didn't fully understand the teachings, but the lifestyle, the way we dress, what we eat, I liked it. I enjoyed being a young Muslim.
Yes, ma'am. And just going back on the clothing, because, a lot of women that are watching this, they may ask you, how did you feel about covering your hair specifically? Because that may be a huge thing for especially, Black women, it's the weaves and they want to show off their hair. And how do you feel about covering your body as well? Because in this world, body appreciation is declothing yourself. So how did you feel about covering your hair and your body?
Gotta be honest, outside of MUI, because we did have a uniform and your hair was covered in school, I did want to show my hair. I was interested in hair braiding and I was learning different hairstyles. I know how to do hair, so I definitely wanted to show it off. Going to different events and stuff, I may have a scarf and it be around my neck, but not actually cover my hair because I wanted to show it. But one thing I can say for me personally is that people could recognize that I was different and that I was Muslim, even when my hair was not covered. Growing up in the city of Chicago, it's brothers on the street. They always trying to holler at a sister. But a brother has actually said to me, "Are you Muslim or something?" And my hair was not covered. I mean, I had modest clothing, but I carried myself a certain way. I agree with covering your hair. That's my teachings. I'm not going to go against it. But I feel like it's all in the way that you carry yourself as well that gives you that modesty. And cover my body, how do I say this? I am kind of shapely and I don't like attention. So I chose to wear baggy clothes and things that didn't accentuate my curves because I didn't like attention. I knew that I would get that if I wasn't covered. I'm not tomboyish, but I don't always like dresses and flowy clothes, but I didn't feel like that was a good enough reason to not be covered. You can be covered by just wearing a longer shirt or looser clothes. So me personally, there was never any conflict for me, any struggle. I liked covering my body because I don't like attention from males or really anybody. So it was no issues for me. And I'm still struggling with covering my hair when I go out in public fully.
Yes, ma'am. And, a lot of people watching this, that may come as a surprise because they may hear that, Muslim women are forced by men to cover their hair. Is that true?
Yeah, that's a big misconception. A lot of sisters or people that I've spoken to believe that women are oppressed in Islam, that we can't do a lot of things. And that's far from the truth. We're uplifted and we're valued and we're taught our value, and we should make a decision from that. Yeah, definitely. You don't have a hijab on, like people who don't fully know us in the nation. Why is your hair not covered? And they be checking us a lot of times because, they have these high standards. But I tell them I don't always cover it, and I don't believe that that makes me less of a Muslim. But yes, we should. It's the best for us. Why do we cover our hair? It's for protection. Our garments, everything that we wear is for our protection. So, but yeah, they checked me a couple of times. I don't feel like a scarf specifically. I know that a scarf or a garment is not what makes you a Muslim. It's submission to the will of Allah, and it's how you carry yourself, your lifestyle. It should be in line with the teachings. But that is a big part of the protection aspect for women.
Yes, ma'am. And you just talked about, uplifting. What did the teachings do anything to your confidence? Because, growing up in this world, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of women have, confidence and anxiety, and, they kind of feel anxious at times. Did the teachings do something to your confidence and your self-esteem?
Absolutely. It's definitely a lot of insecure sisters I've come in contact with. We have low self-esteem. And yeah, we don't walk with that confidence. We don't know our value. We've been devalued. We've been degraded, and we internalize that, a lot of us. So for me, when I fully accepted the teachings, yes, I'm a nation baby, but at some point I had to really study and learn and listen to these lectures and parse through the teachings. And I'm like, wow, this is powerful. Learning that I'm the second self of God and the power that I have. A nation can rise no higher than me. What? That's a lot of information. So did it give me some confidence? Absolutely. Knowing how close I am and knowing that I have the secret of God inside of me, I walk with a confidence. I know my value, so no brother or anybody can come to me a certain way. I am married now, but before that, I remember you asked earlier if I ever deviated. I never took that because I've seen so many examples around me of how that went. And I said, I don't want to take that path. So I had this, I knew what I was, and I didn't accept anything less. It was no boyfriends. You're not getting my time if there's no commitment. Knowing all of this value that I have, I can't settle. I can't disrespect myself, So it definitely I walk with a confidence. I know my value. I don't take disrespect from anybody. And I work on myself. I sharpen myself so that, I can be an excellent mother, an excellent wife. I have those teachings now, and I have to live by it.
Yes, ma'am. And a lot of people watching this, they may be shocked when you said mother, they be like, what? And that's not how to eat to live. But how has the teachings helped you as a mother specifically?
Wow. Okay. I was born and raised in the nation, so I've been hearing, how to rear your children since I was a baby. But our teachings are so broad and diverse and thorough. We have literally lessons on everything, exactly what to feed your babies, how often should you feed your babies. We have how to give birth to a guy. I watched that throughout my entire pregnancy. And when he got here, I literally had all the notes. This is what I should feed him. This is what I should not feed him. We have how to eat to live. There's a whole section on, should you fast while breastfeeding? What you can feed your baby so that they can be strong and healthy, weak navy bean soup. So I have literally all the answers, everything that I needed to raise my baby. He'll be 1 on the 19th of April. And it's just so beautiful going through this process with him. He's very healthy. And I have everything that I need. I feed him right. I interact with him. I study with him. I read with him. So I feel very confident as a mother because I know what I should and shouldn't do. And I'm not like confused, new mothers, oh my God, what I'm doing. I wasn't overwhelmed. We have the beautiful Muslim community, the Ummah, that helps you out. You can ask questions if you need to. We have a beautiful sisterhood. And I have all the teachings that I need and how to raise my baby, what to feed him. So definitely am confident in my motherhood. All praise is due to Allah.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And just talking on this, a lot of people may think, since you was born in a nation and since you accepted the teachings, that you're missing out on life. You know, we see people having what's called fun, and you know they letting loose, and you know they're smoking on they're smoking on that good.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like you're missing out, or did you ever feel like you're missing out on life being in the nation?
I have to be honest, I had a curiosity. I feel like it's a natural curiosity of what it's like to kind of be loose. I've never smoked or drank. I haven't. I'm gonna be honest, but it's like why do people like that? Feeling left out? No, because I didn't. I seen what it led to, and I didn't want that for myself. So that's not left out. So, okay, I didn't feel left out because I can make these decisions. Let's be honest. We all have free will. You can be in the nation and you can sneak out, or you can sneak boys into your house, or you can go to little events and you can smoke and you drink. There's really no oppression. You do what you want, and that's between you and Allah at the end of the day. But I was seeing the people that were doing that I was growing up and getting kind of curious and trying things out and how it ended up for them. I said, is it worth it? I don't really see the benefits of living that life. The fun in Satan's world is really death. Fun in Satan's world is not anything to live up to or look forward to, because it's not good for your spiritual, mental, or physical growth. Smoking and drinking is killing you at the end of the day. So it looks good in his world, but it's far from it. So I'm so grateful for these teachings, because I probably would have, went down that path, but I had the teachings, and then I've seen examples of what it can lead to. And that didn't interest me in the slightest bit. So no, I never felt left out, because if I wanted to, I could have. There were multiple opportunities. There were times where I could have explored, but I chose not to.
Yes, ma'am. And now just continue on that fun. Can you have fun in a nation? And I know that definition probably is different than what the world thinks is fun, but can you have fun in the Nation of Islam?
Definitely. You said it depends on what's fun to you. Everybody has their own definition of fun, but I want you to accept Islam for yourself and internalize these teachings. What's fun to us will become fun to you. Absolutely. I just had iftar with a group of brothers and sisters out here who are young married couples and who have children as well. That was fun. You can laugh, have conversations, get a little comfortable and loose with each other. We went to the zoo. You can go places, explore, you can eat. Eating is fun. Laughing, fun, camaraderie, different games. We don't just sit and stand still and then pray. And you can be a happy person in Islam. So absolutely, I have fun with my brothers and sisters out here. I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee. I relocated from Chicago, Illinois, headquarters, but I'm here now. It's more intimate in smaller cities, the mosque, friends, everybody checking out on each other. You feel loved by everyone. You can definitely have fun, laughing, talking, games, as long as we just don't do anything that doesn't conflict with our religion. That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Now you graduated from MUI, correct? And how was that experience? Because I went to public school, so I know how that experience was. And I was an all F student, and I remember I wanted to drop out. Oh. How was that experience going to MUI? How was the education? How was the environment, and how did that shape you as a person?
There's a lot in that question. I love MUI. MUI is a huge part of who I am today. It definitely starts in the household, how your parents teach you. That's the foundation, because that's where you spend the most time at. But most of the knowledge that I have is from what I learned in MUI. A lot of when I went to extracurricular activities with people who were in public schools, and they were like, all y'all graduate early, y'all always got A's and stuff. We were always, people who went from MUI were known as the smart children, because we're in there actually learning. It is a year-round school, so we don't have all those breaks that you have in public schools. That can be a problem. You're taking 3 months off at a time, periodically throughout the year. It's hard to retain that information as children. So a lot of people are opposed to, children are opposed to year-round school because they want to have fun, they want to do stuff, they have time off. But being in there so often, it was easier to retain information. And so, yes, the intellect was on 100. You know, there are going to be some students that are slacking based off, you know, how much they commit. But we all were very studious. MUI, wow, MUI, we have Islamic studies, we have drill activities to sharpen your mind, get you disciplined. We have healthy lunches, that Navy bean soup, you can just research the benefits of Navy bean soup. It's tremendous. We had good conversations on hygiene. It was a very well-rounded teaching. It wasn't just like Islam, Islam, Islam either, like a lot of people think, because we do need math, science. We need those subjects to learn and grow and succeed in this world as well. So it's very well-rounded teachings. We learned Arabic, a loaded curriculum. The only thing I gotta speak up for the MUI students who are like, but what about, it wasn't a government funded school. So we didn't always have what we needed. Keeping the school up, you know, air conditioning and things, all of that, the funding for the school was based off what the Muslims, the believers put in. Charity and stuff is how we kept the school up. So there was, you know, little times where it may have been a little warm or it may have been a little colder, depending on, you know, stuff like that. But it's not government funded. They don't want to give support a school that's teaching us to be gods and rise and unify and separate from their world. It's so much that we're learning in there, though. So I believe that it's worth it, and it's something that a sacrifice that every parent should make. The little tuition that we had to pay, I believe that there's no number, there's no amount of tuition that really we can pay to support the amount of knowledge that we were learning at MUI. Very knowledge packed, so much information. It taught me how to be. I had a desire to learn. Being at MUI taught me that knowledge is powerful. You can become more open to certain groups and spread and travel and meet different people and interact with people based off the amount of knowledge you have. Knowledge can unlock, a larger friend group, and you can get connections when you know more. And I had a desire to learn and read and study. So they worked me too going to MUI. I don't know if you've seen it, but I did the opening graduation speech at MUI. A lot of people stop me and say, I see you up there. I did my little 1-2 talking about how beautiful MUI is and how much it helped me. It's so much knowledge and information that we learn, though. And it's very, very well-rounded. We didn't have time to sit and play and laugh like you do in public schools. I don't fully know, but you got time. You can be on your phone. People are not taking the curriculum serious. Students aren't. They don't feel. You know what I mean?
I used to take naps. Yeah.
Naps?
Yeah. I would get my 3 hours of sleep in there, 4 hours.
A whole 4 hours? Nobody woke you up?
No, they didn't care.
They didn't care.
Yeah, my teachers told me I wasn't gonna be nothing. So I thought to myself, why do the work then? Because if you don't believe in me as a teacher, then
wow.
You know what I'm saying? But the teachings definitely, yeah.
Now you know you are something. Very much.
Yes, ma'am.
You too a lot.
Yes, so it's just the devil's, but you know. But my next question is, why Islam? Because some people would say, we live in a Christian society. Well, it's supposed to be. So why Islam and not why? Because you said free will. Why not go into Christianity?
Okay, I gotta make sure I'm sharp on this and accurate with my information. So growing up in Islam, I didn't want to be a Christian, but I felt like it was important at a certain age to study the different religions. And most of them do have a common principle of doing good. Just practice righteousness, be good, peace, all the positive things that we believe in. There's slight variations that divide the religions. But one key thing that we need to talk about is that Islam is not really a religion. Allah gave it to us as a religion, but it's a lifestyle. It's very well-rounded. You have Christians, who believe like we do, oh, Jesus was a good man, but they're smoking and eating pork. And that conflicts that conflicts with what is taught in the Bible and their scripture. A lot of Christians don't really read the Bible or even understand it fully, because they'll find that their actions and their lifestyle is not in alignment with what is taught and what Jesus taught. Of course, Christians believe that Jesus is God somehow and his son as well. And that doesn't make sense scientifically. So, Islam, everything makes sense. There's only certain principles that you have to have faith in. And I believe that'll come naturally. If you really like those hard to ask questions or those uncomfortable questions that you have, you're going to find it in the Holy Quran, or Islam can answer your questions. You hear a lot of Christians say, when I asked my pastor what it meant when, how is Mary, or, those uncomfortable questions, they can't answer them. You just got to have faith. You got to believe. With Islam, all of those little, ambiguous things became clear to me. It's right there in the scripture. It says here, it makes sense that Jesus is the Son of God and not God. Saying that he's his son and calling on God for help, but he is God. That doesn't make sense. Islam just gives you a lot of clarity on those subjects that you don't fully understand in Christianity. But we don't believe in division. Of course, we believe in Jesus, and we shouldn't use Islam or religions to divide each other. Black people have a common goal. We all in this together. We got the same struggles. I don't believe that we should be using religion to divide each other. But yes, Islam will give you that clarity. So I do encourage everybody to study and ask those questions and study the religions. And then eventually you come up with the right decision for you. But the reason why I chose Islam when I got older and studied was because everything made sense to me. And that's very important.
Yes, ma'am. Now, some people watching this may be like, well, who's Allah? And can you answer that?
Very, very simple. We, as Muslims, we believe that Arabic is our mother language. That's the language that we originally spoke. Everything was stripped from us, our language, our culture, when we were enslaved and taken and oppressed and captured by the white man. We lost everything, but Arabic is our mother tongue, our original language that we speak in. So Allah is simply God in Arabic. We all believe in God. As Muslims, we believe that there's one God whose proper name is Allah, because that's the Arabic name. So Allah is simply the word God in Arabic.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, some people may say, watching this may look at, they see you covered up and they see the discipline that's in the nation. And they may think that's kind of boring, how the nation doesn't really celebrate Easter or Christmas. How do you feel about that? Is it boring? Not celebrating Christmas and the Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny.
I mean, the young me seeing the little lights and that's lovely. I still like the lights. I did want gifts and stuff, but come on, people, we can get gifts any time of the year. Why would you get gifts around the time that everything is false? Jesus was not born on December 25th. You can look that up. He was born the first or second week of September. So it's all based on a lie. And then we telling our babies that a fat white man got the gifts when we're sacrificing our coin, our last bit to provide our children with these gifts. The whole concept of a lie to me is just so sick and wicked. I don't understand why it's still being supported. I know a lot of Christian people who are like, yeah, I know Jesus wasn't born, but I just want to get the baby the gifts. I don't understand that. You have a whole year to do. You can always shower your babies with love. You can always celebrate with your children and study about God. And then when you find that most of these religions are based on paganism and lifestyles that you most likely don't agree with, I feel like it's natural to want to completely eradicate that and no longer celebrate that and keep it up. Black people are all about, not just Black people, we all about having fun, partying, drinking, and excess. So we just taking advantage of that time. But I think that it's a very unhealthy and immoral thing to do, to keep up these religions that we know are not good in nature. I didn't feel left out because we do know as Muslims, we have our Savior's Day. That's our Christmas. Good time is love, and the root of it is good. A man came to save us. Miles and miles struggle because of us. We're the chosen people. That's something that I want to celebrate for and around and about. But yeah, as opposed to all those other holidays, you can do that as much as you want throughout the whole year and let it be a good reason, a good cause though.
Yes, ma'am. And why do you believe in Allah or God, or why do you believe in scripture and prophecy? Why do you believe in all of those things?
Why do I believe in it? I guess it is pretty simple. It is because I have faith. Faith is not something that can be given to you. You can't teach faith. You have to have it in you. And it's something that you receive and you study, and you actually sincerely turn to somebody. If you don't believe in God, you turn within yourself and you ask, like, what do I feel? Does this do anything to me? When you're reading it and you're acquiring all this knowledge and learning things, do you feel anything? And at some point, I'm like, yes, I very much do. I believe this. I have faith. What I love about Islam is that there's no compulsion in Islam. Don't force me. You better wear this. You better stop eating pork. And no, we don't do that in Islam. Sometimes in Christianity, they will force you and they'll degrade you and bash you if you don't live a certain lifestyle. That's not effective. I found people, when you're forcing them or you're real strict with it, they turn away from it instead. With Islam, you'll come to it. There's no forcing it. And I sat and I said, I believe that it's true. This is real. I can feel it. I'm not confused when I read it. I don't have any uneasiness. It's not ambiguous to me. Everything felt clear. And I felt something within me that said, this is the truth. This is the knowledge. And I agree with it. So faith is my answer for sure. Faith.
Yes, ma'am. And people watching this, just you as a woman, why follow a man? Why follow another man, as in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan? Why listen to another man and, take this man's guidance?
Another man. Well, a part of it is knowing who he was taught by. And if I believe, and I say I believe, that Allah came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, who taught the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who taught him, I'm going to stand by whatever this man has to say. And I'm also looking at his character, his background. What does he do? A lot of the men that, we're opposed to or are listening to have lifestyles that don't match up with what they're saying and what they're preaching. This man, I know, I have the confidence that he loves me through his actions, the work that he's done, traveling around the world to make peace and friendships for me, teaching me my value for years. The most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan spent most of his life teaching me my value, me and my people, of course. So I have no reason not to listen to and internalize and practice everything that he says. One, because I believe in the God that he was taught by and taught through. That's what I claim. Yes, I believe that. And his actions are in line with what he's saying to me. So I value his words.
Yes, ma'am. And did the Nation of Islam teach you to hate white people?
Nobody taught me to hate white people. I'm laughing because I did have my little phase where I was super pro-Black, and you hear the stories. We know what they did to us, and we also are taught the nature of the white man in Islam. So knowing that, a part of me was just I despised and in my immaturity. Let's be honest, like, oh, just wicked. But when you know why they do what they do, and knowing that God made them to do just what they're doing, you shouldn't be all angry and hostile. They're actually fulfilling their purpose. If that's what their nature is, there's no need to walk around all angry and mad. I despise what they did. I hate what they did to our people. And that will forever be the case. But it's really immature to go around, being mean and sticking your nose up around white people and being disrespectful. That's not our way. We don't offend anybody. We shouldn't be hating anybody. Well, God does hate, but to just say all together.
What?
Yeah, he does. It says he gets mad. God can get mad. He'll show you that he's angry. The natural emotions that we all have, knowing that they came from us, that's something to think about. Though knowing that the white man was produced from us, the devil in us was extracted and created the white race, then you have to know that it's inside of you. And to walk around hating, no, we just need to work on ourselves and try not to go back to that, completely get that devil in us outside of us. So no, we are not taught to hate white people. We're taught the nature of white people, and we are taught to be cautious around them, knowing their nature. You know, that's smart with anybody, but knowing what people are prone to, you study a track record. We use history and we learn from history. If this is the track record of the people, be cautious and don't be surprised if you see something like that, you know?
But don't y'all hate the Jews too?
We do not hate the Jews. I advise everybody to study and do their research. We have beautiful books, The History Between Blacks and Jews. There are some statements that have been misconstrued and misunderstood by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. For example, him saying Hitler was great. If you study and parse the word great, he meant empower, what he was able to do, because he was compared to Hitler. So he is powerful. You've seen he did Million Man March. He's still, after the Honorable Elijah Muhammad departed, raising it, he rebuilt the Nation of Islam, and he's teaching us our value. If it was not for what he done, having that conviction and faith that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was still alive and deciding to rebuild the Nation of Islam, I would not have Islam. My mother would not have Islam. My father would not have Islam. So he just meant great as in power. We do not hate Jews. There are different kinds of Jews. When you study and learn about them, there are wicked Jews, wicked people. That is in any race and religion, though, if we're being honest. Wicked is everywhere. No, we do not hate Jews. We just know the history of those. We know the good and the bad Jews. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is friends with some Jews. So he doesn't hate them. He's just teaching on their nature and the kinds that there are. The only thing that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan does is gives us knowledge and truth. And we take that and do what we want with it. But we do not hate Jews, no.
Yes, ma'am. And your brother is Golden Child, right?
Correct.
Yes, man. That's my brother. We gotta get him on here. But I be listening to his music every day. How is it growing up with siblings that was in the Nation of Islam? Was it kind of like a support system? Because a lot of people like me, for example, that came to teaching, I don't have anyone in my family. We just got my wife, or my soon-to-be wife. Her letter just got passed. But yeah, how was it having family in the nation? I always was curious on that. And this is the second and last question. I don't want to hold you up.
No, you're good. I'm sorry for you hearing my baby in the background. But no, okay, praise be to Allah. Nothing but support. Like you said, it was very much a support system. Especially my brother, you say Golden Child, he's Kadir to me. My brother Kadir, he had a lot of knowledge, and he loved having profound conversations with us. And us all going to MUI as well, we're able to just sit in a living room and start a topic about the teaching, something maybe Yaqub or Master Muhammad, and us all just sitting around, expanding it, giving our 2 cents. I love how well-rounded the teaching is. It makes us so deep, the brain, and we had so much to dialogue about, and it sharpened us in our Islam. Having so many people who knew the teachings around you, being raised, growing up with them, you learn. We're all learning together, really. It was very beautiful, and it definitely kept me on my deen, seeing my brother internalizing these teachings. Even the siblings who may have deviated a little bit, I still learn from them today because that foundation is strong. Islam is in each and every one of us. I've seen it out of all my siblings. That it's in them. And right now, if you ask them some kind of question about the teachings, they can answer it and have a full dialogue about it. So we were all sharpened by each other in our Islam.
Yes, ma'am. And this is the last question. What would you tell to young girls out there who are suffering kind of in this world, or they may not even know they're suffering, but, kind of caught up with the drugs, caught up with you know, being with many men. And what do you have to say to women who are even thinking about registering in the nation, thinking about processing, but they're not sure, you know, they want, you know what I'm saying? What would be your advice to them?
First, to my sisters who are living this lifestyle heavy, you know, and may not know that it's not the best way to be living. I love you. That's the first thing I would say. I love you very much. And I know that at some point you're not happy. You can be depressed when you're not living. And your nature is righteousness. Your nature is good. Your nature is to be chaste and to value yourself. That's your nature. So you will get depressed living in something that's opposed to your nature. I encourage you to learn your value. I encourage you to learn yourself, learn your purpose. And you can find all of that in the teachings of the Nation of Islam. There's so many links and resources and things and lectures you can watch. Just start by parsing the information, learning it. And I need you to know and believe that you are valuable and that you are special. Because if you knew that and you believe that you are valuable and special, you would not be living this life that's contrary to your nature. Smoking and drinking and promiscuity, that's not natural to you. And it doesn't feel good. You may think it does, but when you're home alone, you know that it's not right, and because it conflicts with your value and your nature. So I encourage you to learn and study your value and love yourself. You have to love yourself. A lot of us do not love ourselves. I'm still, learning to fully love who I am, fully. Because there's little parts, we have our little insecurities. We may be self-conscious about certain things. But when you love yourself, you won't tolerate any form of disrespect or anything that's not valuable to you or beneficial to you. And your value, learning to love yourself, you can get that from the teachings in the Nation of Islam. Just start by parsing some information. We have MGT classes every Saturday. You can look for more information for your local class and just come learn. Like I said, there's no compulsion in Islam. Don't feel like you're pressured to anything. You come to one lecture, I got to be a Muslim tomorrow, and I got to wear a scarf. It shouldn't be that. It should be natural. And the more you hear these teachings and learn your value and how special you are, you'll want to practice them. You'll want to join. I have confidence in that. So learn to love yourself, sisters.
Yes, ma'am. And I really appreciate your time and your patience and the wisdom that you shared. And I pray to Allah that He continues to bless and protect you and your family. I thank you so much, sister. And I definitely hope to talk again. And Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem. Thank you, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.